You're going to be late, sleepyhead. You might want to get up. Ava's voice carried into the room from the doorway. Rolling over in bed and pulling the pillow over her head, Charlotte Monroe groaned. I don't want to go to work today. Someone else can fill in for me. Our new boss is making an appearance this morning. I don't think today is the best day to play hooky, Ava stated, then walked away. Charlotte pushed the pillow from her face and squinted at the bright light shining in from the window. Blinking a few times, she waited until her eyes fully focused before sitting up. You missed an amazing party last night, Charlotte called out to Ava as she stood to her feet and headed to the bathroom. Aren't they all about the same? Ava responded from the kitchen. Charlotte paused and glanced in that direction, a frown covering her face. No, not at all. Last night the band was on fire and everyone was on the dance floor. Ava Fitzgerald appeared in the hallway, brushing her short, silky smooth hair as her almond-shaped eyes observed Charlotte. She had the most beautiful complexion that Charlotte accredited to her Asian nationality. Even though I enjoy dancing, I had a lot of fun with Pierce, she replied. Charlotte's face twisted as she noticed the expression Ava wore. This wasn't good. Surely she wasn't falling in love with a guy. They hadn't been seeing each other for very long. Maybe you should take a break from being with Pierce and hang out with me tonight, Charlotte suggested. She wasn't about to let Ava lose her heart to a guy who smelled stinky feet all day long. Ava said he was the owner of a shoe store, but Charlotte was certain even though he wasn't the employee, he still had his fair share of dealing with customers and their feet. The thought grossed her out. Ava's eyebrow raised. What are your plans tonight? I'm going back to Club 316. Charlotte didn't miss Ava's cringe and wondered what her negative response was for. It wasn't like the club was an ordinary place people went for drinking and getting into trouble. Club 316 was for Christians who wanted to mingle without the influence of alcohol. It was a non-alcoholic facility. Just because a person was a Christian didn't mean they had to miss out on all the fun in life. The club's name was based on the verse, John 3:16. We can talk later. You need to hurry and get ready. I've got to go. I'll see you at the meeting, Ava stated as she left Charlotte standing in the hallway. Charlotte walked the few steps into the living room as Ava grabbed her purse from the table by the door, setting the brush down in its place. What meeting? Ava spun around and chuckled. Don't you pay any attention whatsoever to the announcements on the bulletin board in the employees' break room? Charlotte shook her head. Not really. What did I miss? She asked. The new manager wants to introduce himself to everyone and thought a quick meeting before the doors open would be the best way to do so. Charlotte's mouth formed an O as Ava offered a hurried wave goodbye while Charlotte raced into the bathroom to get ready. Standing in front of the mirror, she quickly brushed out her shoulder-length blonde hair. She knew she didn't have the extra time to straighten or curl it, but she couldn't go with it limp and stringy looking. Charlotte was jealous of Ava's easy-to-manage hair. All she had to do was brush it. It just wasn't fair. Charlotte, on the other hand, had to use tons of products to get her hair to cooperate. Quickly running the straightener through it, she grabbed her makeup bag and hurried to change. She would have to apply her makeup on the bus, which reminded her of the time as she looked at her watch. She had only a few minutes to make it. Running down the steps of the duplex she rented with Ava, she spotted the bus stopping ahead. Charlotte waved her hands in the air, motioning for the bus to wait on her as she dashed forward, almost stepping in a puddle of water on the way. Good morning, Miss Charlotte, the dark-skinned man said with a full grin as Charlotte momentarily glanced at the red plaid-wrapped Christmas wreath that hung beside his seat. I was just in time, wasn't I, Clarence? Charlotte replied as she climbed the steps and stood beside the older gentleman looking for a seat. I think you enjoy living life on the edge, don't you? I bet you've given your parents gray hairs.